I'm going to introduce Simi Arora. She's going to guide us in terms of how to create and maintain a powerful personal brand. Simi Arora is a personal brand strategist and LinkedIn growth expert. Her journey is inspiring. After moving to the US and overcoming significant personal challenges, she discovered her true calling, which is helping individuals unlock their real potential. Leveraging her experience and organic growth on LinkedIn, where she now boasts nearly 100,000 followers, Simi has established herself as a beacon of knowledge and inspiration. Please join me in welcoming Simi Arora.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar. My Marathi is not as good as yours because guess what? I'm a Punjabi in the house! And it's such great privilege to be associated with GMG Excellence Summit. So I want to start by congratulating the whole team for doing such an amazing job. So, can I have a big round of applause for all the organizers? Wonderful. So, since you have been listening to everybody for the last 2 hours, let's have some fun together. Now, we're going to talk about personal branding, I promise you. But I want us to be interacting with each other. And if there's some audience just around the building and just chit-chatting, maybe you want to come and join us because we're going to talk about personal brand building that changed my life and it may change yours as well. And I'm not just exaggerating it. I promise you, it did change my life. So, are we ready to have some interaction? Do you feel it's a good idea for you to be responding back to me when I ask you a question? Or maybe take some notes, maybe get some ideas that are helpful for you. Are you ready for this? Yes? Awesome. And we have 2 mics. Do we have 2 mics in the audience? So, the way we're going to set this up is I'm going to be obviously talking about some of the greatest points in personal branding. And in between, maybe I'll ask you to participate. And at the end, we're going to have 15 minutes, about 10-15 minutes for Q&A. I really want to answer you some of the questions that are in your mind related to personal branding, related to your growth online, which is something we're really cautious about because having a real estate of your own online matters a lot. Alright, let's begin our journey together for the next 30 minutes. And we have the slides ready, please. Go to, let's say, the first slide. I'm sorry I didn't have you. Before this. The third number slide, number 3 slide. What we learned here today is the importance of personal brand building, the growth stats in today's economy, how to grow your personal brand, and some practical strategies including do's and don'ts. So whether you are a seasoned entrepreneur, a new solopreneur launching your coaching or consulting business, a freelancer or a professional, your personal brand is your most powerful asset. It distinguishes you in the marketplace, it brings out your personality, it allows you to connect with people that you want to connect, but from the space of your expertise. And what we are going to talk about personal branding, I want you to think about some of the superpowers that you have. Okay? And I'm going to ask some of you those superpowers that you possess, because those are the powers that are somehow helping you either share your expertise in the best possible manner, connect with people in the best possible manner. So if you haven't found out your superpower, because it's such a big term, right? You know, like I'm not any, amazing person like a Superman or something. I don't have any superpower, but trust me, all of us have some sort of superpower. And now, I'm going to share a little bit about my story, my journey, and how personal branding changed my life. I came to this country in 2012, had a short marriage, didn't work out, went into depression because it was a big setback. Because I was doing fantastic in India when I started my journey was in my early 20s. And in between having those panic attacks and depression, I felt that one of the reasons that I was not feeling that fulfilled in my whole being was also because I was not in sync with my real potential. I was working for the company, I was doing a great job, but it wasn't something that was giving me a deeper sense of purpose. So I went into a spiritual quest. I was like, I'm gonna make some major decisions because guess what? A lot of bad things have already happened, but worse can happen now. So sometimes the pain is the catalyst in your life and it allows you to take some major steps and take some decisions that you would otherwise never take. So after a few months, I left my job and I started real estate because that was something easier for me to get the license and get into sales and start making some money. And I started sharing my journey, my story online. I started talking about purpose, I started talking about fulfillment, and that's how it actually started for me on LinkedIn. And slowly, I became a certified life coach where I help people with purpose, with career building, and transitioning, and all those amazing things that internally is very important for us to be in alignment to actually do great in our career as well. So after some time, I started getting noticed. And because of that notice, I started getting business. And I upleveled my skills eventually and started coaching executives. So from invisible, I became visible. And I started pushing myself out of the comfort zone and getting into the territories that were unknown to me. And as you can see, right now, I have a thriving business which is multi-six-figure business. I have coached multi-millionaires, executives, large, small corporations, and I've been helping people build their brands online. And the next slide, I'll show you the results that I got from LinkedIn, the top personal branding voice, and some of the numbers I'm going to show, which is like in the last 90 days only, I got about 1.3 million impressions, about 52,000 reactions, and 6,669 comments. Now, why am I showing you this? This is not to brag about me. This is what happens when you put yourself out there with the right strategy. Now, from these 7,000 people who commented on my posts, from this 1.35 million impressions, do you think I would be getting any business out of it? I would be, right? Or do you think I would be getting the opportunity to speak to you on a forum like this? Obviously I would. And what is this doing for me? This is just exposing me to the new people. This is just making me connect with more and more and more people who would want either my agency services or my consulting services. So if you are just starting out, whether you want to transition from job to business, whether you already have a business and you want to generate more leads, whether you want to build your credibility and impact, you need to have your voice heard. You need to have some sort of credibility and connection with your target audience. And that's what personal branding helps us do. Now, I want to ask you, have you thought about your superpower? If anyone wants to share what their superpower is, we can have some fun, sorry. Don't have to be that serious. Who has a mic, my friend? What? Yeah! Come on, go for it! Can we get the mic passed to her, please? Hello. Yes, can I have your name, please?
Hi, I'm Amrita. Great to meet you. I think my superpower is emotional intelligence.
Beautiful. Awesome. So how do you use it?
I don't think I think or put thought into it. It's something that just comes naturally. How it helps me is that just reading the room, understanding people, that's how it helps me.
That is brilliant. I'm sure this has given you a lot of advantage over maybe resolving conflicts, building better relationships.
For sure.
For sure.
I'm always put in the situations where we put our fires.
Yeah.
People find me.
Fantastic. And may I have your name, please?
Ankita.
Ankita. So big round of applause for Ankita in the house. Yes, pretty possible. Anyone else who's like, okay, I'm good at this. Yes, sir, please.
Hello?
Hello. May I have your name and your superpower?
Yeah, this is a great session. My name is Sriharsha Navel. Everybody knows me by Shri. Superpower is networking. I can connect with people, hear their stories, and then bring some correlation. Thank you.
Fantastic. Big round of applause for Sri. The networking guru right here. If you want some networking tips, you know who to go to. Anyone else? Yes. Yes, Mel, please.
Hello, I'm Smart Sakhi Usha, and same thing, networking and collaboration.
Networking and collaboration. Fantastic. Thank you. Big round of applause for our lovely lady here. So we all have some, yes, of course. Lady in the blue.
Passion.
Passion.
I want to be passionate about what I like. I want to be कोकणामध्ये Marathi. That's why I enjoy doing the farm, which I never learned before. But that's my passion. Passion I follow.
Fantastic. This is amazing. What's your name, ma'am? Sharmila in the house. With round of applause. She's passionate for life, for learning new skills. And this is all so awesome. Yes, we have one more. Active audience is the best audience, right?
My name is Madhav, and my superpower is getting to the bottom of any technical problem very quickly.
Wow. Problem solving, Madam. Fantastic. Wonderful. So we all have superpowers, right? And I want to teach you today how we're going to introduce our superpowers in our personal branding. And there are going to be some amazing takeaways for you. It's a very dense topic, and it can, make you feel like, come on, there's so much I need to do. But we don't have to do everything today. We can do a few things, and we can start building our online persona. And the more we express ourselves, the more we come to the place of authenticity and credibility, the more confident we become. And the more confident we become, then we shine with our true expertise. We have the courage to step out of the comfort zone. We are able to connect with our target people that we want to work with, open up more opportunities, and that's the place of growth for us, right? So your personal brand is the key to unlocking your superpower. It authentically showcases your expertise and passion, setting you apart and empowering you to make a lasting impact. So what is a personal brand? Now we're getting into a little bit of technicalities, right? It's a unique combination of your skills, experiences, your personality that sets you apart from others. It is also about your reputation and how others perceive you. We all perceive each other. Right now you're perceiving me. Maybe some of you are judging me as well, right? But that perception, how I'm able to convey my intentions, my credibility, my value to you is also my personal brand. Intentional branding. Building a personal brand is deliberate and intentional process of shaping how you want to be known and remembered, and it also should be consistent. It should be like that today, like I'm coming across as someone who is very approachable, very sweet, very nice, very credible, and tomorrow I go to another event and I'm like, I don't care, right? It won't be consistent because my personality has to be consistent. My vulnerability, my credibility has to be consistent. So our personal brand, very simple, it is showcasing our authenticity, it is showcasing our expertise, it is showcasing our ability to generate a certain perception about how I want people to look at me. And majority of us, how do we want people to look at us? How do we want it? Positively, right? We want people to trust us. We want people to be connected with us genuinely, intentionally, because that expands our reach, that expands our heart also, that expands our confidence as well. Okay? So before I go further, I want to ask some of you, I'm sure that majority of you have some sort of social presence. Is there somebody in the house who has no social media account? Like no LinkedIn, no Instagram, no Facebook? Or most of us have some sort of social presence, right? Majority of has. So is somebody here using that specifically for personal brand building? They're like, I am super intentional about how I want to be seen by others and how I want to generate more opportunities, business opportunities specifically, because we're here, gathered here for entrepreneurship purposes, right? So if you're doing that, amazing. If you're not doing that, we'll make sure that you do that. Okay, next slide please. Awesome. So here you see that power of personal branding includes the trust and influence, we already spoke about it. The purchasing decisions, big one. If you see someone who's posting the content online, showcasing their expertise, the chances are that you'll believe that their credibility and their expertise is real because they're able to share what they are generating for their clients. So the purchasing decisions of small companies, medium-sized companies, even large corporations, it depends on your credibility online. It depends on the kind of content that you're sharing. It depends on the case studies. It depends on the value that you're bringing to your target audience. So if you go to the next slide, I'm going to show you some stats. 84% C-level and VP level buyers use social media to support purchasing decisions. Personal brands achieve conversion rate up to probably 20 to 30 times higher than non-personalized brands. 70% of the customers with a personal connection to a brand representative have 60 to 70% higher probability of repeat purchases. And 67% of Americans would spend more money on products and services from companies whose founders' personal brands align with their values. We're not just talking about the business products, whether it's B2C or B2B. We're talking about the executive, the founder. What's their backstory? Who are they? What's the purpose behind what they're doing? Why did they start this company? What are they trying to achieve? What is the impact they're deriving after they have started this company? The more they showcase the story behind, the purpose behind, the intention behind what they're doing, the more they build the credibility and authority in their space and relatability. Next slide, please. Sure. Your personal brand is your promise to the world. It is what you stand for and what differentiates you from others, which is exactly what we're trying to understand. I have a superpower. I have the skill sets. I have an expertise, no doubt about it. But how are we going to share that with thousands of people? Of course, events like this, which is fantastic. I'm right now standing here, and we are about 700 people here. We're interacting with each other. But guess what? Getting 1,000 to 10,000 eyeballs on your profile every day, what difference would it make? Huge difference, right? So in today's economy, we have a leverage. We have the leverage to go online, create our profiles, share expertise, share our story, and build a sense of community. Put our intentions out there, and then you'll see the magic will unfold, which is exactly, I've seen many of my clients' life changing, and of course my life changing as well. So next slide, please. I promise there are a couple of more slides only, right? And the key elements: authenticity, relevance, consistency, visibility. We already talked about it. Before I go further, I want to ask some of you, have you ever paid attention to your top values? The values that are close to your heart, the values that are always aligning with your actions. When I start my journey with my clients, I usually start with the value questionnaire. And believe me, the hardest one. We think we know a lot about ourselves, but it's actually not true. There's always something as a blind spot. And if you have a pen and paper in your hand, maybe you can write it down, or you use your smartphones. Just see what comes to your mind. And I want you to think about the values that you really, really cannot live without. Like some of the folks say, my top values are family, love, giving back, honesty, integrity. These are the common values, right? But then there are some other values that we hold close to our heart. Growth, spirituality, could be many things. Is anyone here who's like, I know my top 3 values? I'd love to have that interaction because I'm going to tie that with the personal brand as well. Yes, come on. We can maybe keep one mic in the back as well. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, this is Prashant here. So top 3 values practice I particularly look into is that integrity, customer success and teamwork. So integrity is something which you do it with your conscious, whether somebody is looking at you or not looking at you. Customer success is something you look towards it, stepping into customer shoes, not just customer focus. And teamwork is creating the collaborative environment to achieve more together.
Prashant, I apologize, but maybe you could get up because first of all, it was hard for me to look at you. I'm sorry. And I want everybody to see you because I gotta give a round of applause to this man who bloody knows his values. It's not easy. Come on. Yeah, you gotta be a little loud.
Yeah, okay. So first thing is integrity.
Integrity.
Integrity is something that you do it whether somebody is watching you or not. So you just have to do it, right? Second is customer success. So you get into customer's shoes and understand what success means to them. It's not just customer focus, but it's beyond that. And third thing is teamwork. So together we are going to achieve more. And in JFG is a very good example.
Fantastic. Awesome, Prashant. Thank you so much for sharing these values. I'm sure they're reflected in your work, in the personal brand that you have built for yourself. And anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Curiosity, pleasantly hosting somebody, and storytelling.
Love it. Storytelling, hosting pleasantly, and curiosity. Wow. Curiosity is a big one. I recently met CEO of Genpact, Mr. Tiger Tyagarajan, and he has built his whole company. Believe it or not, Genpact, $4 billion, $5 billion company. The CEO of the company has built his whole company on one value: curiosity. Curiosity. He's like, when people come to me and tell me that, oh, they can't do something, I send them back and I'm like, you're not curious enough. If you were curious enough, you'll figure out a way to solve this problem. So values are so important in our life because the way we express ourselves, the actions that we take on a daily basis, if they are not in alignment with our values, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get stressed out. We're going to feel frustrated. We're going to feel angry. And then we're like, I don't know why I got so mad at you. You did because maybe some of your values or one of your values was compromised. So in our personal brand, though it is going to create opportunities for business for you, it also is in alignment with who you are, because consistency is very important. If I fake something today, I can't stay consistent. I can only be consistent for something that I'm real about. If I'm real, I don't have to pretend. You put me on any stage, you bring me on any meeting, I'm going to be the same person. And that is what creates a perception of your personality, of what you bring on the table. And this is exactly the difference when we admire people, like some of the people in America very famous, Dr. Brené Brown, Gary Vaynerchuk, or any other, Dwayne Johnson, or all these wonderful people that we met today. They have a personal brand that is consistent for decades. And that's why we're listening to them, and that's why we believe in them, we trust them. Right? Yes, can we go ahead, please? Awesome. So 4 crucial ingredients to build your personal brand: genuine connection, deep expertise, engaged community, and authentic story. We pretty much covered all aspects, but I want you to also think through these pointers in your mind, because when we're going to do the Q&A in about 5-7 minutes, I want you to ask questions on some of these topics, because once I'm going to answer, of course, all of us are going to get benefited. So I would love for you to prepare some questions in your mind. Community, let's talk about that for a minute. What is GMG doing here? GMG Excellence Summit. Is it a brand now or not? Yes or no? Why is it a brand now? Intention. We want to bring people together. We want to create a spark for Marathi community to share the spirit of entrepreneurship. We want to create opportunities. That's the intention. Second, engaged community and connection. We're sitting here as a community. This is automatically giving a lot of value that this platform promised. And it's automatically reflecting the brand values, integrity, authentic story. Why are we doing this? When GMG is trying to market itself, it is sharing the story that, listen, we need to come together. We have done amazing job together. This is how a brand is built. This is a personal brand as well. Though this is a corporation, but it's or NGO or a non-profit, but at the same time, it is reflecting all those things that I just mentioned about a personal brand as well. Genuine connection, deep expertise, engaged community, and authentic story. Let's go ahead. So how do we develop our personal brand? We're going to start with self-reflection, which is exactly what we did together here, right? What am I great at? What is my unique value proposition? UVP. Please take this one takeaway home today. UVP, unique value that you bring to the table, whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, a founder, executive, job professional, transitioning from job to business. UVP is the first thing you need to think about. And there could be more than one UVPs as well based on the target audience that you're dealing with. So if I have an offer or a product or a solution which is catering to maybe 2 or 3 different segments, then I have 2 or 3 different UVPs coming in alignment with this problem that you're solving, but it's still with the same brand. For example, I run my masterminds for the consultants, budding consultants, or people who are transitioning from job to business. And I also have an agency business where I do end-to-end marketing, complete done-for-you services for the small, medium-sized companies. So when I make my proposals or when I present myself as a brand, I have different UVP for agency business and a different UVP for one-on-one consultations or my masterminds. But unique value is always the basis of how you're going to present your expertise. And the last point is, it's all right, we're fine, create aligned content. We can move to the next slide. Now, aligned content is important, and I want us to understand that when we use a social media profile, we want to make sure that our content is in alignment with who we are and the expertise, the UVP that we have developed. So instead of just posting random things and having inconsistent perception of your brand, try to post content which is branded, right? It could be the color theme, it could be always your logo, it could be always the style, or the bite-sized information of your UVP. So content strategy plays a very big role. I got some notification that, listen, we're gonna time it out. So we're gonna quickly move to the next slides and further. Next one. Yeah, I've already covered that. Okay, next. Yeah, so another thing that we do in the personal brand building is that after we've developed our UVP, our content strategy, we started posting the content, we need to also refine our brand strategy along the way. You need to have all those technical things set up, such as like what is my email open rate, what is my social media rates, and all these things that are a little technical in nature. I don't want to go detail into this, but also understanding that my analytics are equally important. I just cannot simply be posting the content and imagining that things are going to knock at my door. I need to refine my strategy along the way. And we're going to wrap up the session with the idea that all of us have already a personal brand, which is something that we are inbuilt with, because we all are persons. We agree to the fact that we are all our persons, right? And since we're all our persons, we already have a personal brand. And which means is that we already have unique expertise and that genius within us, and we just need to showcase it to the world, whether it's through product, service, or solutions, or anything that you offer, in the manner that is easily absorbable, in the manner that is consistent, in the manner that is giving value to the people who are coming to your profile and looking at it. The moment people find connection and relatability, guess what happens? They are able to connect with you and obviously give you the advantage, which is opening more doors of opportunities. So, last slide. And let's open for Q&A for 5 minutes. Oh, we don't have the time for the Q&A. Any last question or anything you want to say before we move out? And by the way, I do have masterminds, one-on-one coaching and everything else. If you want to know more, I'll be at the booth. That'll be perfect. But yes, he wants to ask something. Can I, or we should wrap up? Yeah. Yes, go ahead, please. No, nothing? All right, thank you very much. Hope it was enlightening and useful for you. Appreciate it.